Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Time to Roll's Campaign 1. This is episode 51. Few things to go over, some exciting things to go over, and then we'll get right into the game. We are slightly late tonight, as usual. I feel like we should probably just set our starting time at 7:45, because we started at that time most of the time. Anywho, for a few things to go over. Squirtle will not be joining us as far as I'm concerned. He hasn't gotten back to me or told me anything. Actually, I haven't messaged him today. He hasn't gotten a hold of me. So, anywho, so he will not be here. So I guess somebody will be playing Arya, either myself or I'll ask someone else to. And that's that. Next big announcement. Still currently working out the details. However, next week, starting Monday, that would be August 14th, myself, Magic, and our good friend King will be playing Baldur's Gate 3 together. We will be doing a completely custom run to go through the world of Baldur's Gate 3, and I'll be streaming it here live on this channel, and there will also be links starting on Monday, in the chat to go watch the perspectives of both Magic and King. We're still unaware of a fourth person will be joining us, but I will announce that next week Sunday, when we're live, if anything has changed. But we haven't really settled on a time for that. I think we'll be starting right around the normal time we start the stream, so probably around 7:30 Eastern time. So if you guys want to watch the tomfoolery of that game with us. That'll be going on Monday, probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is my guess, but we'll have a more just like intact schedule for that session and that run through. Pretty much, whenever the time comes. Really is just depends on Magic and King. I'm down for whenever, as long as it's not Tuesday, since I have Nate's game on Tuesday. So look forward to that. We have some, I'll be also uploading the playthroughs on YouTube. And maybe if we have some funny clips, I'll be putting them on TikTok. So if you follow us there, or if you follow me, we don't have an actual official Time to Roll TikTok yet. It's a lot of work to set that up. So, I will be posting more there, so I hope you guys are ready for that craziness. But I think that does it. We're going to go ahead. We're going to hop into the game. We have everybody here but Squirtle, so hopefully we'll get into some craziness like we normally do when everybody's together. So let me switch that over and pull that up. That's just my music app, and let's get into it, shall we? Also, check out podcasts and stuff. I say that every single week, but we're on every podcasting platform. So if you want to listen to us while you're in the car, that's a good option. Here we go.
Some X videos,
I forget which language it is, but like the symbol X in some language is pronounced with an SH. So you're
But shitter.
shitting.
I love shitting. Hi, Zach.
Good to know. I'm glad to hear you enjoy shitting.
Are we live yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh.
now.
Yeah,
I wonder
we're
if we-
live.
How
Everyone
long have we
knows.
been live? I think.
Who agrees with my statement? Raise your hand.
Sometimes you just need to poop. Like,
Sometimes you just got to get it out,
I mean, it's healthy.
It
Yeah,
Better out than in.
it's healthy to do it.
is an absolutely normal human process.
We should
alright?
all love it. We should all love shitting.
yeah,
Splinter
that's
Cat.
Splinter Cat. Wow, I haven't seen Splinter Cat in the
Hey,
chat in a
Splinter.
long time.
So,
How you doing, buddy? You caught us right at the right time when we're still, or I'm still allowing myself to talk to chat.
And we're
we're in the
talking
pre-show,
about pooping.
Talking about
Yeah.
pooping.
Cheers.
right?
A poop
Oh.
today.
Pooping and Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
Oh, my friend bought it for me. I'm so excited.
Oh, hell yeah, girl.
You want to
I
play?
wish I had tips.
Do you want
My friends
to?
won't buy me.
It's Karen's. One of Karen's partners was like, "Hey, I just got a raise. Do you want this?" And I was like, "No, don't buy it for me." And they were
not
like,
a
"No."
sponsor. Not a sponsor.
No, they can sponsor us. Baldur's Gate, hell yeah.
Baldur's Gate, please.
No.
Baldur's Gate. What is it?
They can make a Baldur's
I'm
Baldur's
showing
Gate
my
based
wine.
on your world.
Hold on. Let me get in close here, Larian. If you want to work together, I hit me up. All right. Anywho,
Can we get free copies of Baldur's Gate?
that'd be great. Speaking of Magic, do we have a fourth for our playthrough? I just talked about that. Mouse, do you want to be our fourth?
Okay.
3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like 7 p.m.
Till when?
Wait, Baldur's Gate is
Ten.
co-op?
Yeah, you can play with friends.
Oh shit! I
Up
didn't
to
know
4
that.
people. Yeah.
Is that Eastern? 7 to 10.
Central.
Oh, yeah, I can probably do that.
Hell yeah.
There you go. There you go,
Starting
people.
next week.
I can't do Wednesdays because that's my date night with Tanner.
I mean, fair. I guess we can replace her with an an NPC. I guess.
I will. I'll catch up during my off time since I still don't have a job.
Well, I think if we play
Unfortunate.
without you, it just progresses you.
It
and
does.
I just
Oh,
control
okay.
your character.
It does. Yeah. True.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Well, cool. Now let's get into a quick recap of our games since a few of you were gone last week. So after that is if everyone's ready to play. What's up, Todd? You're about to open your mouth.
I was just gonna say, like, gone, or just wasted, gone.
Well,
I'm already there. But
How do you determine wasted?
How do you
gone?
want to do this?
When you
Roll.
don't remember if you're gonna play next week.
That's true. Good point. Well, let's get into a bit of a recap. After purchasing your Dunebounders, the large weasel-like creatures, from a farmer outside of Anaric, you made your way into the Rania Trench. Hopefully the location of the Corde Orum, a gem that is said to be able to cleanse any I guess diseases, cure any wounds, or maybe even bring people back from the dead. In an attempt to find this, you wandered your way into the Rania Trench and found yourself in a cliffside city, or what seemed to be a cliffside city long abandoned, where you camped out for the night. After about an hour of looking around and keeping watch, Arya found herself being assailed by a large beaked demon-like creature that you would later figure out would be a Vrock. And thus a massive battle took place between your group and a horde of fiends, eventually coming to blows with a large horned, basically just a big old motherfucker of a demon that exploded when it died, nearly taking out some of you. But after a long, hard-fought battle, all of you crawled back into your beds, onto your bedrolls, and slept for the night. Where you have now woken up. Birds are chirping. Zane and Vuivra, the assumption was that you're making breakfast. And the morning and the rest of the day is yours. Dunebounders are hanging out. They were a little spooked from the fiends, but seem to have wandered their way back to you once the fighting was over. The little green half triangles are your tents because I needed to draw them somehow. So,
Good at pet.
you guys want?
Pet and
I
love on
actually have a
Cornelius.
question.
Sure.
After the explosion of his body, I just want to, like, maybe in the morning go up to where it happened and see if there's anything there that was left.
Okay. So you go up. If I remember correctly, it happens somewhere on this cliff-ish. Roughly. I knew it took place between the first ledge and the That was a little, I meant to click that one. Okay, I'm gonna need you to actually, what's your passive perception? It's a little number underneath all your skills that says passive wisdom. Left side of it.
15.
15. Okay. Yeah, with your passive perception, you could see a little bit of like blackish blood that has sprayed out around. You don't know if it's from the massive creature. That's a little bit too happy.
Any bags or like equipment?
So remembering to last week, the two weapons that he used were elemental weapons. It was a fire whip and an ice sword. Both disappeared during the explosion. You do see singe marks all around, basically in a giant like ring, that like an exploding singe marks going outwards at about a 10 feet radius. With your passive perception, that's all you can gain. If you want to look any further, look, see if anything fell off of him. Roll an investigation check.
Investigation.
19. Wow, straight roll 19.
That's a crit.
No.
For Ori.
For Ori, and okay, yeah. But 19, you look around, you do find small little pieces of like what seem to be leather, scorched, that have blown and mixed in with the dust and the sand over the night, with the wind blowing through this this subterranean area that you are in. Looking around a little bit more, 19, even though you rolled a 19. Okay. You do notice a little shine. Little, almost looks like a bronze-ish medallion that is tucked underneath the sand, and it looks like it has burn marks and a little bit of the black blood on it. It seems like it has also been blown underneath. But it looks just like a little coin, probably about a little bit bigger than the size of a standard gold piece.
So it's just a round disc. It's not like on a chain or anything.
It's hard to tell. You could go and dig it up and figure out what it is, but
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and kind of like dig around it so I don't touch it directly,
okay.
in case it's a laser beam.
Okay. Good callback. You dig around it. It just seems like a metal piece of a flat metal piece with now that you get a little closer, you can see what seems to be carvings, intricate carvings on the face of it.
I'm gonna just like kind of slide my dagger underneath it and kind of like flip it.
Okay.
Is it any weird feelings or anything like that, or do I get shocked or?
Nope. It seems like a heavy, slightly heavier piece of metal. Trying to lift it up with your dagger. You can definitely feel resistance as you try to lift it up. But no, it just seems as you lift it up out of the sand with your dagger, you do see what looks to be a broken chain on the end of it. That's probably only a few inches long, and it seems like the rest of the chain was either snapped off or blew off in the explosion. Or it's been that way for a while. But as you look at this medallion, you very clearly see strange carvings, strange symbols. Do you read Abyssal?
I'm pretty sure I don't.
Okay, I don't think anybody in this party reads Abyssal. Which sucks. But
I would like to.
well,
Retcon that.
if you find someone in the world that is proficient in Abyssal that's willing to teach you and give you lessons, then you can learn it. But for now, you see these runes, and you can can't really tell what they are. However, these runes are kind of circling the outside edge of this medallion, and it looks like a bunch of mumbo jumbo to you. But then when you look at the center, you see what looks to be a visage carved in of what looks to be like a kind of like a ram's head, but a skull, and curling horns in the center of it.
All right, I'm gonna reach down and pick it up.
Okay. You pick it up. It reminds you of a small, like, the weight it probably weighs maybe a pound at most. But it's a pretty hefty piece of metal. It's hard to tell what type of metal it is, and the metal is like like I said, it's like a dark bronze. But as you look closer to it, it kind of has, when you look in the little bit of light that is down here, you see it almost changing colors as you like reflect it in the light, almost as if it's reactive to the sunlight.
Okay. Do I have a cloth on me or anything like that? Piece of cloth.
Do you have a piece of cloth? I mean,
I don't.
if you have a mess kit or if you have something like that, you would. I mean, we could just assume that you've picked up a piece of cloth along the way. Like,
Okay. I'm just gonna like pull that like a handkerchief, and I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna wrap it in the handkerchief and put it in my pocket.
okay. Shove it in your pocket. In your inventory, write down unknown medallion.
Okay.
But that's all you can really find with your 19 investigation.
I'm gonna head back over to the group and have breakfast.
Okay. Breakfast is had. Let's go with Weavra. Roll a survival check.
Bum, 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 bum. Ay, ay, ay.
Unfortunately, actually, because you have help, roll one more time. You would have advantage because you have help with Zane.
Hallelujah.
There you go. That's better.
That's a little bit better.
Okay. Can't remember if we rolled for this prior.
That's
you
for
were
the hit
doing-
points.
Yeah, this would be for the 10
Yeah,
hit
we
points.
did.
Okay. How many did
But I think his was better than mine, I can tell you that.
how many
3.
Three.
I hit like a 10 though, so.
everyone should have 3 temporary hit points. Raise it to 4 with that roll. We'll do a little retconning because I couldn't remember that at the moment I had him roll.
We did, yeah.
Okay. So everyone has 4 temporary hit points right now. Breakfast is had. Area surveyed. Is there anything else you guys want to do in this particular area before you move on?
No,
Well,
I'm just
what's-
like, yeah, the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
While we're kind of grouped up at breakfast, I'm gonna go. I'd like to show you guys something. I don't know if you saw me up on the hill. I found something, and I don't know what it is, but it came off of. I'm guessing it came off of the monster that blew up. And I'm gonna pull the piece of cloth out and kind of lay it out so everybody can look at it.
What's it look like?
So the. Sorry, I just realized that I have both channels mixed right now with music and your guys' voice. Whoops. I hope they could have heard. I hope they heard you this whole time. Can one of you talk?
Yeah.
Got test.
Oh no.
Okay.
You have reached customer service. All of our customer service representatives are currently busy.
Well, we can ask chat. Could
Hold
you
on,
hear us
what?
that whole time? Or no?
Please tell me you could.
Corgan? I'm sure Corgan's usually good about saying if he can't hear me when I'm streaming, so I'd assume he would do it.
Okay.
You could hear us the whole time? Good, okay.
I just gotta switch channels real quick. There we go. Alright, one of you talk just in case.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Jesus Christ, what is up with these? Okay. Oh, I had a Windows update. God damn it, that's what happened.
That'll do it.
Ah,
That'll do, our laddie.
I'm normally on top of that shit, but I guess it. There we go. Switch you guys to game. Now you guys should be on the right frequency.
Hopefully.
Upon a midnight dreary
There we
ride
go.
upon a
Okay,
bleak weary
everything's
road,
working
midnight
correctly
dreary.
now. Good lord. Audio problems. Bane of my fucking existence. Okay, sorry. You're asking what this medallion looks like. It's a copper tinged medallion. It's probably about, at first glance, it's probably about 2, maybe 3 inches in diameter total. It has just a little bit of like bronze chaining, or chains and chainlets that are hanging off of it, but definitely seem tattered and broken, with some burn marks on it. And on this coin, you see symbols that only Zane would probably understand. Zane doesn't know. You wouldn't know how to read them, but you would recognize them as abyssal, given your heritage and growing up in the household that you did. You would recognize it as abyssal. However, you cannot read it. And then you would see a little symbol on the center of it that looks like a ram's skeleton with curly horns that curl inward, and then to a point after about 1.5 curls.
I don't know if there's any special characteristics to this, or if this is a clue of something, but I just wanted you to be all aware that it was found. We all fought the beast, and so if there's a value that it might help somebody out, we should consider that as well.
Might be a holy symbol of some sort.
It's probably worth to hold on to it.
Oh, I didn't plan on letting it go. I just didn't know if there's magical properties along
Beats
with
me.
it.
I think we should try praying to. If it's a holy symbol, maybe we should try praying to something with it. Could be interesting.
Sure, let me
Educational.
get up on the hill while you do that.
I didn't say I was going to do it. I might do it. I'm kind of curious now.
I mean, okay. Make a religion check, Ori.
Ori, can we please have your axes?
If I
We'll
die,
just- We'll just
don't
grab
give
them later.
Thaddeus anything I own.
I'll keep all your goods.
What is
Don't
my
worry.
history?
It would be religion.
Oh, religion. Sorry.
Yes.
I
I don't know
just
why I thought history.
I don't want him going crazy and then trying to kill us all.
Nope. Completely
Yeah,
fair to
it's
be cautious with me.
18. Is Ori smart enough? Maybe not.
Are you smarter than a minotaur?
New game show. How'd that go again? I don't know.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader? I can't
Where's our,
remember.
where's our
Yeah, no,
kazoo?
that's the hit game show in Sylvania right now. Are you smarter than a Minotaur?
Yes. It's not that hard. Most of
Are
the time.
Minotaurs inherently just dumb? I don't think they are.
Depends on which I guess.
Ori? No.
You'd consider
like
them
the regular
herds.
Minotaur? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Most Minotaur are solitary creatures, and most of them are not very smart. They are wise to the world, but they are not smart. Ori, you are a very special person. When it comes
Special
to
boy.
when it comes to men.
Special boy.
I'm special.
Did we call him
My mom
Ed?
says I'm special.
Didn't she name you Ed as a child?
What's that?
Hey,
short
remember
for?
when your family kicked you out? Hurts, don't it?
Have you rolled that religion check for me yet?
Oh, I did. It was 18.
Okay, 18. So you're trying to pray to this symbol.
I don't try to pray
Just-
yet.
okay.
I was trying to figure out what it was.
Okay, 18. Given your connection with certain other deities in your past, you can definitely tell that this symbolism is not good. It's not of one of the not of one of the more savory gods in the world. You don't really know the symbolism. You do know of the standard what will be considered as the aversirs or the destroyers of the world. You would know that there's a few of them that are worshipped by fiends, primarily demons in the hells. Specifically, would be Baal, the god of murder and torture, otherwise known as the Pain Lord. He
Seems right up my alley.
you would know that he's worshipped in the hells as as one of the more, and I say this very very cautiously, one of the more righteous gods. You would also know of Bane, the god of tyranny and illness, also known as the Plague Bringer, who is also worshipped in the hells. However, you don't necessarily know if this is one of them or it could be of another lesser deity, or it could be one of the more greater deities. But you,
So I do recognize it as some sort of holy symbol.
you would recognize that as a holy symbol of a god, of probably one of the more, what would be considered one of the more evil gods in the world. But you don't know exactly what the symbol is, because most with that religion check, you would know that most gods are, at least those that are part of the creator gods, are not widely worshipped in the world anymore ever since the fracture.
Well, I think I'm going to give this a shot.
Oh no.
Okay.
Or he's going to pick up the holy symbol. I'm going to stand over here just in case I explode into hellfire.
Okay.
He's going to hold the holy symbol in his bare hands
Okay.
and say, what does he want to say? I am attempting to contact some sort of being. Is anyone there?
Roll an intelligence saving throw.
I think those are good. Maybe +2. That's not horrible.
Better
than mine.
Better than -1.
Oh, 21.
You feel this amulet, this coin, vibrate in your hand briefly. It gets unbearably hot, almost forcing you to drop the amulet. You then feel a vibration coming from your bag of holding.
What the fuck?
As a leather-bound tome shoots out of your bag of holding and is floating in front of you. You would recognize this tome as a tome you've been trying to pawn off on other people for about 6 weeks now.
Reiki.
The final piece of
The leather binding on this tome flies off. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Dirty 20.
You're able to just dodge out of the way as a black spiraling mist portal shoots out of the center binding of this book in an attempt to swallow you whole, you and this coin. You hear a voice in your head, a familiar voice in your head, saying, "Don't mess with that." And you're able to dodge out of the way with almost a superhuman, which you're already pretty super humanoid, we'll call it. But you dodge in a way that you don't understand. And the book attempts to grab you with this black spiraling portal. It sweeps up everything in the area and then shoots up and closes, and then rebinds itself and falls to the ground. You then see this medallion coin where there was once leather bounding. You see the image of this coin now stapled on the front cover of this book, almost as if the book has absorbed this coin. All of you see what everybody else sees is the floating book bringing out the spiraling portal, but you see Ori disappear briefly and show up 15 feet away from where he was.
You good, bud?
The book is now bound and laying.
So the coin is now like kind of attached to the book,
It looks
is it like a part of it?
it looks like the book has absorbed this coin.
Zach, your camera's
Is the coin-
locked up.
Okay.
Is the coin still visible?
Yeah, the visage of the coin is on the front cover now.
Oh, okay, so it's like drawn on or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like a wax stamp almost on the front of the book. But
Another piece of Exodia. I'm almost there. Well, that was kind of nuts. Coin's kind of gone, and he'll show everyone that it's now bound with the book.
Well, at least we found it a home.
I was told not to mess with it.
By who?
Would the familiar voice be the?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
Some asshole.
That's who you think it is.
If it is an asshole telling you not to mess with it, would they not be not looking out for your best interest?
I don't know about that, but
Would we
I-
have somebody else carry this book?
I would think that the book is so, along with the coin, is so dangerous that even he would say something, or he just doesn't want someone else being a part of, my whole thing.
Question. Did you have that book when you had your little episode
No, I picked
in
this
the
up.
fight?
No,
Fighting
no.
ring?
The book is unrelated to that. I assure you.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure. That's the kind of thing has happened before without the book.
Okay.
It has?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I just realized what he
Don't
said.
ask me about
That's
it.
happened before.
I don't like talking about it. Thanks
Are
for
we?
bringing it up.
I mean, I'm assuming at this point we're fine traveling with you.
Right
I
now,
hope
yeah.
so. I don't
Yeah,
really
just-
want to take
I mean,
an
if it
axe to
happens,
the
if it
chest
happens
again.
again, just beat the shit out of me until I fall unconscious.
Yeah, I'll try that next time you put an axe in my chest.
Hey, listen, that wasn't me. I'm sorry, but
You're just gonna see Zane squint at you when
you gotta admit, it was kind of funny, a little bit. It was, you're alive, and I don't know. It's like something you tell your kids that it would, like, I got that. Yeah, actually, I don't know what you tell them.
Yeah, remember that time I took an axe to the chest and nearly died? That was a great time.
I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an axe to
You're
the
not.
chest.
Just tell them you're not a real man until you get an axe cleaved into your chest.
Yes, I'm sure that will make
Or
them
woman.
be very, very manly.
Are you saying none of us are real
No, I'm
manly?
I'm just saying.
Mm.
Don't throw this around on me.
Anyway,
All right. Well,
'Twas a jest.
Weaver, make a perception check.
I don't like that. Whew.
Screams in player.
24.
Yep.
It's very hard to see. But you do catch in the corner of your eye, flying high up to the top roof of this subterranean area. You see what looks to be, you've seen them before, and you recall back into the hidden library of the magistrate on Ebrax, a tiny little imp-like creature flying just barely out of view of you, turning invisible as it looks down at the book that is now laying on the ground. Not paying any mind to you guys.
It's not paying any attention to us.
Its
It's just
focus
paying
is
attention.
very clearly on that book.
Okay. I'm gonna. Eeny, meeny, miny. I'm gonna kind of sidle up to Zane and Elka and kind of very quietly tell the two of them that I saw a creature loading in the this one had spotted a being flying that appeared fixated on the book.
We should probably keep that out of sight then.
Indeed, we should.
Or he's gonna just pick up the book and put it back in his bag then.
Okay. Or with your passive perception, you notice that the title of the book has changed.
Oh, okay.
Where the book used to say in big celestial letters that you have, no, they weren't celestial. Sorry, they were draconic. I believe I have to check that. Oh no, sorry, different book. I'm looking at my list of books. This is written in common. Instead of saying Tome of Exile, it now says Tome of Evisceration.
Ori, I think perhaps one of the spellcasters should maybe hold on to that.
That is probably for the best.
How do you spell evisceration?
A good question.
That is a damn good question.
No, you probably shouldn't carry it.
Evisceration. It's okay. Evisceration is
Ask Alexa.
no.
I don't have her in my office right now.
but now my computer knows how to spell it. It's not coming up.
Evisceration. The
Okay, there it is.
official glossary term for evisceration is the process of removing one or all of the organs from inside of a body.
Yummy.
I think it's a good idea if I just keep carrying it. I have the most experience with honestly these kinds of things.
Make an intelligence check, Ori.
Intelligence. 17.
Yeah. With a 17, your best guess with a book of this type, knowing what it's done in the past and what you've seen it do, you would gauge that you'd be as good as any of a person to carry it.
He's also like relating to like his whole situation.
Right. Yeah, I mean you don't have any reservation. Let's just put it this way. With that, you don't feel any reservations about holding and keeping this book.
Okay.
When it comes to the logical sense of things. Now, emotional, that's up to you. But with that, you can properly gauge that there's not any real reason for you to not be the one to hold it.
If you insist.
Yeah.
Because I'm not fighting him.
This
is
one
my,
has no objections.
What's the pyramid
Damn
he carries around?
Definitely don't have any objections. Sorry, what was the question, Nate?
What's it unrelated? But what's the medallion Yuki carries around his neck? The little pyramid. What's that called?
The Jesus, I know.
Hold on.
I'm
Millennium Puzzle, I think. Yeah, Millennium Puzzle. Yeah. Okay, that's his Millennium Puzzle.
The Millennium Necklace. Yeah. Yeah. Oof. Anywho.
Yeah.
Can I make an insight? Is Rivra actually a? Does Rivra actually want to carry it?
Take an insight check. Unless you're, I'm gonna say, go ahead and roll a d20, Vivra, and add either persuasion or deception. Don't tell me which one, and just tell me the number. And you can go ahead and roll an insight check. Nate.
30, 20.
13. Okay.
And hang on a second. I'm just double checking. You said deception or okay, never mind.
Yeah. So based off of the roll you just provided me, and hearing what he rolled, what can Ori gauge from kind of looking at you and trying to understand how you feel about it, since he beat your check?
Weaver's normally pretty hard to read, but you kind of get the sense that he was thinking about it until you said that you were okay with it, and then he doesn't really care past that.
There you go. Seems pretty seems to care, but is indifferent about it at this point.
Yeah, it's just, if you were tracking him during the conversation, he was just really suspicious at first, but then seemed to kind of fall back into his normal mannerisms.
Suspicious of the book or suspicious about Ori?
Both.
Oh, okay. Ori's gonna, I guess after catching that, Ori's just gonna say to Rivra, I'm not going to use this on any of you guys just to clear the air. Obviously, why would I do that?
This
Well,
one
I
is.
hope you wouldn't use it on us.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. I mean, if I wanted to do it, I would have done it by now without the medal or the coin.
This one was less concerned about you using the book and more concerned of the book using you.
I'll be cautious. I promise. I mean, I tried to use the, I suppose the book along with the coin, but that showed no effect. Matter of fact, I was stopped from using either. So I mean, that's a good sign so far.
Using your same insight roll from before, you can tell Weaver does not necessarily believe that, but isn't gonna say anything.
Or is basically just saying like it's worked, so like it hasn't been dangerous so far, but it's not like he's gonna just keep using it unless you find something else that would go along with the book.
Mhm.
But it's not like he's gonna open the book and read it or anything like that.
Yeah. Weaver is, you definitely get the sense that he is along for the ride. Like after an initial suspicion, he seems reassured, and so you should,
Okay. With all that said,
I know I'm not getting. Yeah, I know I'm not getting that across very well in character. Is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, that's why I said. That's why I kind of backed up what Ori said. But with all that said, if I get sucked into the hells, would you guys drag me out? I don't want to stay there. It's a little too warm for me.
I can't say I've ever been to the homeland, but I guess I could try.
Oh.
This one enjoys
Okay.
the heat.
Okay, well, I'm reassured.
At this point, Alan pops up. Well, if you get
Alan, would you save me from the hells? Would you drag me back?
best way I can is by I guess I will. I mean, I'm also in for the ride, so I suppose that's all right.
You're the best.
But don't go getting sucked into hells. It's not a very
I wouldn't do it on purpose, but
it's not a very charming place to be.
have you been there before?
A few times
Okay.
in
Well,
my younger days, but
stick around then, because that might happen. One of us might get sucked down there.
yeah, well, at one time I got dragged in by a tiefling friend of mine wanting to go check out our heritage, and that didn't go very well. The other time I got dragged there by well, by a disciple of Bashaba. But that was fun. I had to kill a whole room full of fiends. But those are the old glory days. I'm just kind of here to tag along and make sure you kids
Maybe the
don't.
hells aren't so bad.
Yeah, lots of stuff for you to kill.
There, if you're looking to fight an eternal battle, that's the place to go. Everything wants to die there. Everything wants to kill too. It's not a very fun place.
Sounds fun. That sounds awesome. I'm more tempted now.
Not for a peace-loving folk like myself, but for someone like yourself, I could see
I
it.
too want to die, and I too want to kill. So
Well,
I'd fit
then,
right in.
Aw, you don't want to die.
Well then,
A little bit. I've done horrible things.
Well then,
We all know
eventually,
at some point in our
Not
life.
referring to most of the kills I've gotten. Pretty proud of most of them, actually, but there's some others that I'm not really proud of.
and Alan will walk up through. Well, then you might want to let that book take you one of these days. All right. Well, let's pack up these tents and we'll not be here anymore. I don't like the smell of fiends. No offense, Zane.
None taken.
Did we just kill your like your brethren?
I don't know them.
Okay, I should have asked before we slaughtered them.
Let's make a. We'll go with a history check.
Me?
Yeah, you. Our resident fiendish man. 25.
Holy shit!
You would know that tieflings are spawns of devils, not demons. And you would also know that there is an eternal battle going on between the devils and demons. That has lasted for eons. You would know that the creatures that you just fought were demons. So they are your heritage's mortal enemy.
Yep.
There's a
Fuck them.
you also have an epiphany as to why you were the one being dragged by the big guy.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now.
That makes sense.
Elka's gonna look at Ori and be like, Are cows your brethren?
No.
A rabbit's yours.
Yeah, that's basically what you just said to him.
Oh, I'm like generally, I have no idea if cows. I'm related to cows.
Elka, make a perception check.
Can I make a history check on where? Would I know the like,
13.
origin?
Go ahead and make a history check, Ori. 13. All of you hear echoing down the down this cavern. You hear moo, and it's just like a moo, 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 moo. Weaver, you would have very, very obviously known the twirling of arcane energy behind Alan's back as he cast thaumaturgy.
That's an 8.
An 8. You have no fucking clue where Minotaurs come from.
I wouldn't know like the origin, even with being.
Even
With me being
you know
like,
what? Roll with advantage because you are a Minotaur.
Okay. I feel like I would have been taught.
Maybe your
at
family
least-
would have said something about the heritage and the
Okay, that's better. It's a 19.
19. You would know that Minotaur, along with many other hooved humanoids, such as we'll go like fawn people and centaurs were birthed from the matron of flowers, Shanti, as a way of counterbalancing the overpopulation of the overpopulation of like the main what you would think of humanoid races. You would also know that oddly enough, furbolgs and minotaurs are actually semi-close cousins.
Oh, okay.
So the gods are furries.
Shanti, at least.
I'm gonna.
But you would also
Okay.
know that there's not a whole lot of other than looking like bovine and your eyes being that of a bovine. There's not a whole lot of physical characteristics that are the same between minotaurs and cows.
Okay, I'm gonna. I don't know how to word this. Ori doesn't know anything about like the outside world really, besides from what he's experienced. So he's not going to know anything about Elka's race.
You've seen 3 of them in your whole life.
Yeah,
Elka, Elkis, and blanking on your brother's name at the second. Pavin, thank you. I don't have my notes for your family tree in front of me.
You're the one who named him.
I know I did. I don't have your notes for your family tree in front of me. I'm sorry.
Pavis is the one with like the Wolverine claws, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
He's fucking cool.
He is cool to people who don't know him. Yes.
I don't like my brother.
He looks cool.
He's kind of insufferable.
Yeah.
Oh, now that I think about it, Alan, we're kind of cousins.
Yeah, why do you think I like messing with you a bunch? As you'll hear moo, moo,
I've never had to.
echo through the...
Kind of reminds me of my brothers.
Well,
So anyway,
Alan kind of kicks his feet, twirls his hair now. You see his pale green face turned a slightly more rosy color.
What do they call that in Persona? Like the social meter.
Yeah, exactly like that. Okay. Well, camp is packed up, no problem. Breakfast is had, and all of you, I presume, mount your dune bounders and head out of this area, unless there's any other random investigations praying to potentially dangerous gods or anything else of this sort you guys want to do.
No other shenaniganry from me.
We will conquer the world, Cornelius. as he pets his what are they called again?
Dunebounders.
Dewbounder.
I forgot what I named mine. Did I write
Ma-
it down? I feel like I did.
You did write it down. I know you. It's so you grab a pen when you said it. Make it.
That's not helpful.
Yeah, make an animal handling check,
Oh god.
Ori,
Oh, okay.
as you pet Cornelius.
I think my animal handling's pretty good. No, it's not. 13.
Good enough. Cornelius, as you say that, kind of like tilts its nose up towards you, kind of looks at you with its beady weasel-like eyes, and then just kind of like puts its head down and
Do I know if he
Shuts
likes
once.
that name or not?
he hasn't been angry about it. Hard to tell with the 13 animal handling though.
Okay.
Chester.
Chester was yes. Chester is your Doombounder's name. How many did you guys buy? I think about 4, 5, 4.
That was
I
5.
feel like it was 5.
It was 5 because there's 9.
I want
of
to say
you.
5.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. So, all of you hop on your Doombounders. Promptly named whatever the heck you named them. They're all doomed to die anyways. You named pets. Good, congrats.
No.
It will not be dying.
By the way, when just as a note, when the fiends attacked, I did roll a high or low in my head to see whether or not the Doombounder stayed and helped you fight. They ran away, luckily for you. Okay.
They're pets. You gotta go by pet rules. They live. They're just in the background being cute.
Yeah.
These are very much like horses in D&D.
So stupid.
They're very much bound to die eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. You all bounce, literally hop over the dunes as you make your way through this elongated cavern-like system. And for most of the day, you look around and you see now that you know what to look for, specifically Weaver with your passive perception, you do see sign of other fiends in the area. They're not showing themselves in broad daylight, but you do see scorch marks and the brief whiff of sulfur and rotting flesh as you roll through this area. And as you make your way farther into this cavern, eventually you can start to see just a little bit more sunlight coming through the top portion of the subterranean surface. And you've noticed very much like the same along this whole way, caves and cave dwellings, clay huts cut out of the cliffside, or stone huts cut out of the cliffside that were once inhabited. Weaver, you do notice the occasional little like yellow eyeballs, glowing eyeballs popping up out of the occasional window, and seeing fiends, trying to take a peek at what's passing by, engaging whether or not they should come out. Most of them, for the most part, you can probably guess are smaller fiends, more like the smaller little scaled green guys you fought during your fight. And eventually you make your way into what seems to be like a central plaza area. This is probably Main Street of whatever this settlement was back in the day. You see what looks to be a giant obelisk. Black in color. It looks like it's made out of obsidian of some sort. And it goes straight up about 100 feet, almost touching the very roof of the subterranean area. And sitting at the base of this obelisk, you can see a skeletal form of what looks to be one of the large fiend creatures you did battle with the day before or the night prior. And it is there, not moving. Looks like it's very weathered, semi-buried by the sand, and it's sitting on the steps at the base of this obelisk. And there's like, it's almost like, it's very very Tomb Raider-esque, very much like a subterranean city that has sand has eventually swept into and buried partially over the years with the wind gusts. But
Is it a statue or is it living?
the at the base, there's an obelisk. It's a black obelisk that goes straight in, that goes about 100 feet in the air at the center of this, like, basically Main Street circle, like town center area. Sitting at the base of it, facing you, is a skeletal remnants of what looks to be one of the creatures you all fought last night, of one of the large bull-like
Skeletal.
creatures.
Okay.
It's skeletal.
Can I tell if the obelisk is what offed the thing?
I'm gonna say you're gonna have to make this is your choice. Either make a nature check or make or hop off your dune bounder and make an investigation check.
Oop, I forgot to put
I-
that public, but a 26
26.
on the nature check.
As you look, this obelisk just seems like a monument long forgotten. You do see with your passive perception, you see carvings that are written. With your passive perception, you'd be able to tell the line and the chiseling structure of these runes. Make a history check for me. 22.
Hey.
Have a few good rolls going on.
Yeah, right?
You wouldn't know how to read it, but you would recognize this writing as Undercommon. And kind of more of an ancient form of Undercommon.
Is anybody familiar with Undercommon?
Can't say I am.
Unfortunately, no.
No, don't even know who it is, I don't think.
Does Alan know Undercommon? Alan knows a lot of languages. I don't think that's one of them, though. Alan knows a lot of the more used languages. If his character sheet would load anytime soon, that would be fantastic. There we go. Roll20 is struggling to load a level 20 character sheet. It's all the spells. It's all the druid spells.
Feels druid, man.
Yeah. He does not speak Undercommon.
Useless. I'm just kidding.
But you'd recognize it as Undercommon. As you look closer at the skull, at the skeletal remains, you can very clearly see what look to be gashes and marks all up and down the skull of this creature. And it kind of puzzles you because when you all killed the creature the night prior, it kind of just exploded whenever you killed it. Its body blew up in basically a firestorm. And this body is not that way. And with your history check, you would know that certain fiends, your knowledge on the hells is pretty limited, but you would know over just stories being told to you as a younger person, and just overall like game knowledge. You know that some fiends escape the hells to try to attempt to live out their lives as they get older. As the battle weariness sets in for some fiends, they do make their way to different planes of existence to attempt to not live as much of a warring life. And they're generally seen as as weak creatures among the other fiends. You could probably gauge that this particular fiend may have died of old age and chosen its last resting place to be at the base of this obelisk for some reason. Now, how old this creature was when it died is beyond you. It's most that most fiends, specifically demons, could live very long lives when they're in the hells. However, there's not really been much told to you or much studied on how long fiends can exist on the material plane. So, hard to tell. But
Interesting.
it is there.
I'll relay the gist of that to everybody else. Basically, that this thing, that creature appears to have died of old age.
I didn't realize they got old.
This one did not either.
Zane.
We're all going to
Oh,
die
I'm
sometime.
just sitting back, just like,
Zane,
We're all gonna die sometime.
what hairs you do have on the back of your neck, which is pretty limited for devil spawns.
I have long hair though.
Yeah. The hair on the back of your neck stands up as you're sitting there kind of looking at this creature. The trident that you once picked up and have control of now, a very similar trident to what your mother wields. You can't help but feel like some sort of similar energy just kind of wafting through the air here. It's faint, it's hard to tell, but you do have it's hard. It's just hard to get rid of the feeling of familiarity, but also very much an unsureness. With this central area, looking at the skeleton of this fiend, and just looking at now when all of you realize the grand scope of this city. A city once probably was seen as a metropolis of some sort. A place of commerce. You see all forms of what seem to be like wooden stalls that were once put up probably within the last century that have now been withered away by the weather. And it feels like you're almost on another planet when you come down here. But continuing to ride on, I assume, after taking a look at this the skeletonized fiend in this obelisk. There are a few ways to go. There is the northern path, which would probably be your best bet, but there's also east and west, heading farther into what seems to be a forever going cityscape of stone and clay. But what direction you go in is up to you. I'm giving you the option because this is D&D, and you might want to get into some bullshit.
That
This
sounds
one
like
does
he
not
wants us
like-
to get into bullshit.
I was gonna say, this one does
Jack,
not
did you
like
see my
cities.
message?
I do. As all of you are trying to make the decision together, all of you see Thaddeus just kind of like hop off his Doombounder and walk up to the skeleton.
Oh god.
Thaddeus, make an investigation check as you're kicking around in the sand. And given your prior message to me, Unfortunately, you're going to have to do that with disadvantage because you are currently intoxicated.
Oh, rip. Rip.
So that natural 20 is no. Well, we'll take the 15, since that's technically the next roll you did. 15. You look around the skeleton, and in your starting to become intoxicated haze, you notice footsteps. Not those of a humanoid. You see what looked to be a three-toed footstep, probably that where all three toes end in a point, and almost like a claw, and a single large footstep that goes backwards that also ends in a claw. With your 15, you would gauge that this footprint standing next to this skeleton is probably about 2.5 feet long from tip to tip. So whatever made this footprint was absurdly large.
Holy shit.
As you look closer at the skeleton, you do notice the weather may have eroded whatever flesh had remained from this creature, but you would guess that the erosion process probably just ended. So,
How fresh is this track?
with that investigation check, hard to tell. But it's fresh enough that you can read it in the sand while the wind is blowing casually through this cavern area.
If he asks that out loud, I'll take a look too.
Okay. Make a.
You might all look at this.
I'm gonna say for you, make a perception check because he's already investigated. He's already found it. 24. You're a pretty good tracker, and it's something you actually take pride in. This footprint was probably made maybe a day ago, maybe 2 days ago. Your guess is in between 24 to 48 hours. And as you start to look, you notice blade marks all around this fiend creature, this skeleton. And as you look closer inside the eye sockets, you do notice flesh inside the eye sockets. And as you look closer and closer at this skeleton, you do notice that maybe this creature hasn't been dead as long as you thought it has. And as you start to look around, Zane, the same feeling of familiarity but also unsureness creeps into you. And you do feel almost like a pull to draw your trident. And as all of you look around at the skeleton, and some of you keeping a wary look out at the rest of the city,
Knocking stuff over.
Zane, make a wisdom saving throw.
It was bad.
Oh,
Oh no!
Hi, what my name? I don't know.
Oh my.
That's because I don't have my dice unpacked yet.
That's a rip.
Zane, as you sit alone on your dune bounder, you kind of whisk away into what seems to be a daydream. And when you blink your eyes, you find yourself in a hellscape. And you kind of look around. You feel fire, but you don't feel warm. You feel cold. Or you feel ice, but you don't feel cold. And then when your senses come to, you find yourself standing almost like an apparition in the middle of the battlefield. And as you look around, you see what look to be tiefling, dressed in leather armor, fighting massive demon-like creatures. You hear battle cries and war cries going off. You've never been to the Hells, but for some reason you just know that you are in the Hell, that your consciousness, you're this apparition of yourself as standing in the center of the Hells. And with the three, you find yourself almost feeling comfortable in this state of mind. You find yourself just watching tiefling, other devils, get cut down, but you also watch demons get cut down. You watch bloodshed after bloodshed, and it seems to go on for a century. Your mind seeps into this constant state of warring, and you feel at peace. Weavra.
Mm-hmm.
As you go to look at these footprints, inspect, you notice Zane with your passive perception. You notice Zane's head kind of just go downwards, almost like he's asleep. And then you see his body start to float off of his dune bounder, 10 feet, 15 feet into the air.
Dropping before he even gets, unless he is like instantly up. Before I'm dropping whatever I am doing, and I am going to grab him before.
That's great, but before you have the chance to to rush towards him and jump and grab him, he's whisked into the air 40 feet.
Ruh-roh.
And you see a shimmer in the air. And you see what looks to be about a 40-foot devil become uninvisible in front of all of your eyes. Wearing plate metal armor, red skin, long horns that bend backwards. It almost looks like a very, very large red version of a tiefling. Male, very clearly male, has a jet black chin strap beard. His hair is kind of flowing backwards, but the one thing that you can't help but notice is his ears are very long, almost out of what you would recognize as maybe being a fey creature. But his ears are red, and you do see like little cuts and scars along his ears. And as he turns himself uninvisible, you see him grabbing the neck, like the nape of Zane's neck, and holding him. And he just looks at all of you in Infernal, which I don't think any of you understand Infernal other than Zane. Maybe Alan does.
Nope.
Alan does understand Infernal. In Infernal,
Thank Alan.
I'm also going to try and make my way next to Elka, and if there is any sort of aggressive action or anything, if it looks like combat's about to start, I'm going to cast a spell on Elka.
Okay. In Infernal, all of you only hear what seems to be a variation of scratchy, just squeals and like screeches, mixed with just a language that's very hard to even pick up any words on. You've heard Zane speak it a few times, maybe cursing at himself here and there. But what Alan hears, and Alan will actually, I think Alan has a neat spell. Yeah, Alan's just going to translate. what you hear is scratchy, screechy language, but what Alan hears is one of my own. This is a surprise. He'll make a fine trophy when I take him back to my mistress. Maybe she will understand why he's existing so long here on the material plane. Very curious. And Alan will say back in Infernal, "Hey, now that's not one of your devil spawns. That's one of our friends. He was born here on the material plane." And you'll hear him say back, "Interesting. Well, he'll be an even better trophy to bring back to my mistress. I didn't realize devil spawn existed on the material plane. Interesting stuff." And Alan will say back, "If you don't give him back, I'll be forced to take you down." Huh. A mortal threatening me. And you'll see him like point to himself. And Alan will look back at you. "This isn't looking very good, guys."
Elka is going to pull out her rapiers.
We fight.
I am going to, as subtly as possible, cast Jump on Elka.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check. And see if he notices. Okay.
I also sent you another comment. I don't know if you saw that.
With that investigation check, no, you find nothing.
All right. Well, more importantly is that I pulled the hood over my head.
You feel your spell attempt to make contact with Elka, but at the snap of a fingers, it fizzles out as he casts counterspell on your jump.
Fair.
And he'll just kind of do like the Kembe Matumbo finger. No.
How far away is he from me?
From you, about 40 feet in the air and about 30 feet away, so roughly 70, 80 feet. Zane, make another wisdom saving throw.
God bless the dice. Better. Probably not enough.
You do start to feel your consciousness slip from this battlefield. However, with a 15, you're not quite awake. You do hear what seems to be an infernal conversation going on between a familiar voice and a not familiar voice. But I'll say, "Hey, now we don't have to be enemies here. Just release our friend, and we can talk this out." He's gonna roll persuasion. What is his persuasion? Probably not fantastic. But a 3 beats a natural 1. And you'll see the devil slowly start to come down, and in Infernal he'll say, "Well, I guess very well. I mean, if you insist," and in Common he'll look at all of you. "Apologies, friends. I'm kind of new to the material plane, and I saw something I'd never seen before." And then he'll look down at Zane. "Oh, my bad." And he will snap his fingers, and Zane, you come too. But he's still holding you. He's still holding you by your neck.
You let him go now,
Help!
please.
Oh, you want me to drop him? Okay. He drops Zane.
No.
For you.
If he drops him, I'm gonna use my feather fall from my rapier on him.
Okay. Zane, you start plummeting 40 feet, and Elka, as you use magic, probably for one of the first times in your life, maybe you did summon the fake creature.
I've used my feather fall before too.
Have you? Okay. So you cast feather fall, and you watch Zane just like, as he gets about 5 feet to the ground, he just slows down immediately and slowly drifts down to the ground.
Well, clearly, it's not what I meant. You're just being rude.
Sorry. Again, new to the material realm.
Are you new
Do
to
they not
speech
have
too?
gravity where you're from?
Gravid. What peculiar words you mortals use?
Hey, how old are you? You're acting like a
Uh,
2-year-old right now.
I've been alive. Oh, probably 800 cycles down in the hells, but I don't know how. See, time works differently between the planes, so 800 cycles may mean differently here.
It's gonna lean towards Frivra. Say
How big is this thing?
he's a bit slow, I guess.
40 feet tall.
He's about 40 feet tall.
Just your type, Todd.
Back under my breath in response. Slow does not mean not dangerous.
Actually, it means more dangerous usually.
So
Usually the foolish get us in shitty situations.
you'll see him land and realize he'll put his feet on the ground, and you'll very quickly know. You'll look at his feet, Weavra. It matches the footprints, and immediately you'll see him kind of like realize he's towering over all of you. Oh, I apologize, and he'll shrink him down to about Ori size. He's now about 10 feet tall instead of 40 feet tall. See, us devils, we prefer to be larger because combat is important to us down in the hills. And he'll look at you saying, I am sorry. I've never seen someone like yourself. You are very clearly a devil spawn, but you were born in the material plane.
Indeed. It is quite common here.
Is it really? Oh, well then I could take someone else instead of you. I don't want to cause trouble I don't want to cause needless trouble. Clearly all of you are just passing through.
You should take no one back with you.
make
Oh, shit.
a persuasion check.
Fucking shit, fuck. I'm guessing I don't get anything about his intentions.
Stone cold, yeah.
Yeah.
I was good. I was good.
Persuasion 12.
I won't take anyone today. And you mortals are curious as he looks over all of you. Interesting.
What do they smell like? Sulfur?
Make a perception check.
That one.
It smells like everything else it smells like the cave that you've been in for the last day and a half.
Okay.
Elga is going to look up at him and take a step forward and be like, what is your name? And why are you here?
You will hear in Infernal, because he was. I apologize. I don't know how to speak my name in the common tongue here on the on this plane.
I can translate.
And Zane and Alan will hear him say, "My name is Vorka."
I will relay that to the party.
How would we pronounce that in common, out of character, like to Zach? How would we
It
pronounce it?
kind of sounds like Vorka. And Zane, you would do your best to translate between Infernal and Common, and it would come out roughly Vorka.
Vorka. Got it.
Vorka. Kind of has a nice ring to it. See, I'm learning something new every day. Especially about this plane. Question.
Yes.
When I came here, the reason I was sent here is because there's a high population of demons on the plane, and I was sent here to look into them and report back. But when I got here, all I found was this one, and he'll point to the skeleton, and he didn't really put much of a fight. I kind of You would think that demons would fight a devil the second they see him, but this one seemed to be already halfway dead. So I ripped it. I rid it of its putrid skin and flesh, and went on my way. But have you seen other demons around here? They feel like I've been avoided.
What did we fight the other day?
Well, we did kill some down in the trench the other day.
Did you really? Well, hold still real quick, and he will cast. Why am I blanking on the spell? I had it in front of me just a second ago. Detect thoughts. That's the right one. He will.
I will
cast
Do I
detect
know
thoughts.
he's doing that?
You
Like-
see, you know what detect thoughts are. You use,
Okay, so I'm going to like conjure the image of that big fucker and then the little demons.
so you're gonna purposely fail to save.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let him know.
He'll dig into your mind, Zane. Interesting. Well, you did well in fighting creatures such as that. I didn't know mortals had that much fighting capability.
You would be surprised how many do.
Interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, I suppose I have quite a lot to report back to my mistress on.
Who's your mistress?
Oh, apologies. I am.
Is it your mom or?
No, I am I'm a faithful paladin. I guess you could say that loosely. More of a mage myself, but I'm considered a paladin of the Curse Giver, Bashaba.
Oh, okay.
She's been.
Does he have any religious symbols on him? Any iconography on him?
Now that you're getting a good look at the guy, you do see what looks to be a pendant around his neck.
Does it match the one that is currently in the book?
Looking closer, you're gonna have to roll a perception check.
Can I roll one too?
Go ahead.
And while they're doing that, I'm invisible now. Does he have any like backs on him or any shinies that looks
Nick-
like I could get a hold of?
make a perception check.
What's he wearing?
Uh,
Oh, you said full plate armor. Never mind.
full plate armor. With what looks to be a cape coming off of him. Yeah.
16.
16. You do see runes of different writings, not similar to the one of the coin that you found earlier. But in the center of it, instead of it being a ram's head or a ram's skull, it looks to be like a visage of maybe a spider. All you see is like 8 eyes with legs.
Spider, you say?
Oh God.
Virgo sword.
And 20 I'll tell you the first 24 perception. As you start to look closer, you just see his head go from looking at your friends to one eye looking at your friends to one eye looking straight at you. He'll just like half grin at you as he looks at you with his right eye.
Hello.
You'll feel a brief gust of wind sweep over you. Pretty strong, and your hood will fall off. We don't need to be hidden around here. We're getting to know each other. Being invisible is rude.
Could
Well, you took one of my friends, and I.
No, understood. I understand. But once discourse was made, one should show themselves, don't you think?
Yes, they've shown themselves, and now I'm showing myself.
I think we're cool now. Are we cool?
He'll just kind of like he'll just kind of like smile at you, Thaddeus. if you're looking for something to swipe, I have nothing that is of any value to mortals. Well, maybe except this. And he'll pull out what looks to be a pouch, like a coin pouch. And he'll look. I found these odd trinkets and baubles laying around in the ruins here. Maybe you have some use of them. I don't know what they are. They're just odd metals. And he'll throw them down to you, Thaddeus. It's just like this.
Why,
Looks like a
thank you.
coin purse. Looks like a coin purse.
Such a nice way to meet someone.
Yes.
The pleasure is all mine.
Careful, Thaddeus.
Would you like something to drink?
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, come. My jug makes the best.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage. And iconography, because you were getting yelled at. You would notice that the symbol on the inside of it was different, and the lettering on the outside of it was different. It's a familiar looking coin, though, but the symbol on the inside looks like almost like a visage of a spider with 8 eyes and 8 legs, and like fangs bearing down, which I forgot to mention. And
so not a direct match. Got it.
Not a direct match. Definitely, clearly different. And he did state that he was a follower of the Curse Giver, Bashaba, which you guys can roll a religion check on that if you want to.
I'm not interested. All I was looking to see is if Bashaba was the
Same
icon that, yeah.
Gotcha.
I got a 16 on religion.
16. You would know Bashaba as the Curse Giver, also known as one of the Aversirs, one of the Destroyers. You would know that she sprung her hordes of children on all of pretty much all of. She's one of the primary reasons that the wildlands of Salvax was turned to ruin during the fracture. You would also know that she has her children that did survive the fracture are now known as terrors. And Zane, you're very, very, very familiar with Bashaba, given all of the stories told to you by Archer, and you having to face and fight Matilda the Terror. Or him having to face and fight Matilda the Terror, pardon. Being one of her
Sure,
spawns.
we've all met her.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right, you did. That's right, that's the big booty tiefling girl, spider girl that...
Zane's in love with her.
You would, all of you would remember that Bashaba is the goddess of misfortune and the curse giver, and that Matilda the Terror is one of her spawns.
So would this guy know Matilda?
You can ask. Persuasion check for drinking. He rolled really high, unfortunately, which 27. So yeah, he. I apologize. Not much of a drinker. I'm more of a studier, more of a field researcher, and I can't be drunk on mortal alcohol while I'm here.
It's not being drunk. It's expanding the mind.
You're very clearly intoxicated, sir.
That's his normal state of being. You can ignore him.
That's
I
normal for him.
got some bad. I had a bad dream. Yeah. Never mind. You wouldn't understand.
Well,
Would you Ori would Ori know
the
your
name.
name?
Yeah.
Matilda. Okay. Do you know anyone by the name of Matilda?
He'll just kind of cross his arms. What's to you?
I wish to. This is a bit embarrassing.
Show him the poems you wrote for her.
I wish to meet them a second time.
A mortal wishes to meet a terror.
I think he wants to get in between one of her sets of legs.
Or just smack Thaddeus behind his head.
Ah, so you're a person who has been bewitched by her shape changing abilities. I see. Oh, I assume so.
Frankly, she can turn into anything she wants. I don't judge.
Roll for horny.
What the fuck would that be? Constitution?
I don't know.
Boss,
Wisdom?
go to
Well,
your foot of horny shield.
Well, I can tell you, I do not know her. I do know of her, given that I am a
Is she
avid.
single? Give it to me straight.
Probably
it.
yes, given that she's a eldritch horror.
Or it goes out for a high five to Zane.
I'll just like politely high five back to support Ori,
Horniness,
even though I'm not about it.
horniness would absolutely be a charisma saving throw. Thank you.
I think that's more of a stamina.
Oh
No,
yeah,
that's the act.
that's
No,
for
the act.
that's for the
Yeah.
act. The ability to maintain your focus. The horniness roll is charisma saving. So he'll look at you, or well, if you can convince her to not destroy you the second you try to make an advance on her, more power to you.
I'm a gentleman. You know, I'm not just gonna. I'm just not gonna pull it out.
Yes,
I'm gonna take it out a few times. You know.
yes, but gentlemen and horrible people all get eaten the same way.
Well, I am a gentleman and quite horrible.
Well, then you might taste really good to her. Not in the way that you hope.
That's what he said.
I think I got good odds.
I can ask you a question.
Of course.
It's kind of technical.
Okay.
So, is there a certain set of legs that you need to be in between?
How do you...
You don't have to answer that.
What curious creatures you are. I'm actually happy I came here. Again, apologies for the forwardness. He'll look right at you, Zane. Little bit confused by seeing one of my own kind here on the mortal plane. So let me get the... I just want to think about everything that has been said to me so far, because my knowledge of this plane is very limited, as I said. So we have a mortal that wants to bed an eldritch terror.
With respect.
We have a devil spawn living, breathing without any issues on the mortal plane, and you're telling me there's many of them on the mortal plane and the material plane. You have a drunk elf.
Yes, you do.
A curious-looking fey creature. Don't know if I've ever seen one such as yourself before, and he'll look right at you, Elka. A little goblinoid, as he looks at Lara. Someone that looks like he should be from the Hells, points at Weavra. A feathered creature. A furred creature. Kind of looks like a cat, as he kind of grimaces a little bit. And a giant fella. Huh. Well, you're set up for success, I think. Well, if you run into any more demons, will you let me know? I'd love to study them.
Is that all you want to do to them?
You can roll an insight check. Of course, I was sent here to study. He not only wants to study them, he wants to dissect them. You get the sense that there's a lot of layers to what he wants to do to these bodies. And none of which seems impure. As impure, or as pure as a devil could get. not that impure thoughts running through his mind, at least from the surface. Well, is there a way? Well, I suppose I could always just contact you in your brain, but that gets invasive.
Oh, before you go, I had a question.
Sure.
He's gonna lean over to Vivra. You guys should show him that thing. To ask him about it. I think that'd be all right.
This one is not sure. The entity has similar symbols, but not the same. This one would not.
Hmm. You know, I've done one foolish thing today. I might as well keep the train going. Hey,
Weaver's not gonna stop you either.
go whip out the book. You recognize this?
He will float it in the air using telekinesis. Kind of
I
look
would
at
like to keep it.
And he'll like put in a Tome of Evisceration. Oh. I see it has the markings of Baal, the Pain Lord.
Oh, okay, that's what that is.
You can thank me for that.
Ah, I see. So the demons do worship him. I assume you got this from one of them?
The book I got from elsewhere. I actually can't remember where I got the book. Was it from
From the Magistrate's Secret Library.
Yeah. I got it from a secret library
Interesting. Ooh.
from a magistrate.
You'll see his eyes glow when you say library.
Oh God.
Like, I roll an insight.
Yeah.
$19.
You see a very intense sense of excitement when you say hidden library or secret library.
Do we
Can I
still
tell
care
if I-
about that library?
Do I still care?
No. Or he's asking
Oh, we care?
anyone in the group.
I mean, assuming it's the main library thing, then
No, wasn't it one of the bad guys?
It was
It
it was
was,
the magistrate in Ebrax.
yeah,
At his
he's
house.
he did turn on us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't get my
Fuck that guy.
characters confused. Yeah. Fuck the guy who owns the library. You just go there yourself.
Really? Well, where is it? I'd love to go. You look around very excited.
I'm gonna give a very stern look to Ori.
What? Do you care about the library?
Well, I care about my people.
Oh, shit,
That's a good
right.
point.
Ooh, you say your people. As
You know what? I'm not gonna tell you about the library. I was gonna, but then I thought a little bit more about it. I would
Or
like
he's
that book
using
back,
his
though.
big boy brain.
Please.
Hey.
I'm using my big
Hey.
boy brain.
Hey, I got an idea. Should we tell him about Torben?
No.
I don't know if he'd care about Torben.
But he might. He might want to just freaking eat that little fucker right up.
I don't think he's into vampires.
Do you know what a vampire is?
Or make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, fuck. Christ.
if he's doing a like a wow, come on, detect thoughts. I know it's not a reaction, but I will try and dispel it as soon as I notice it. So he will probably get something out of Ori.
You've seen detect thoughts before.
Sorry.
You-
23.
23. Just barely failed. You feel a warm sense of friendliness sweep over your body from this devil, and he looks at you and says, now, where was that library again? Please jog my memory, friend. As he looks at you, you are compelled to tell him.
As soon as I notice that it is a spell being cast on Ori, I'm going to try and dispel it. So, like I said, he might get something out, but I'm hoping to.
Given the fact that it's an action, not a reaction,
Yeah.
Ori would be compelled to answer a question.
Yep.
So you would be compelled to tell the truth too, because you just got charmed.
Would we're trying to I'm gonna try to dig myself out a little bit. Would I value the friendship I have with Zane more than I have with this guy who just charmed me, or is this a different kind of charm?
It's a different kind of charm. You're being compelled to answer his question.
Okay. It was Ebrex, right?
Yeah.
Dark state government.
Oh, is it Ebrex?
Ebrex. Now, where is that? As Weavra starts to dispel the magic, and you feel your...
I'm going to chime in. It's to the far east. You cannot miss it.
Make a deception check.
Come on, baby. Come on.
20. Now I know when someone is lying to me. Don't be stingy. I just want to read the books. Maybe take a couple for myself.
You have plenty of books.
There's better libraries out there.
This is it's honestly a pretty lame library. I've been in 2, and it's the last one on the list for me.
You've been in 2 libraries.
Actually, maybe 3.
3?
Yeah, I think you would actually have a lot more luck in the libraries in Artemis.
Zane, where was that library when I talked to that lady that seemed to know everything?
Artemis.
That was Artemis?
No, that was Anaric.
Anarch. Well, the one you'd be looking for isn't Artemis. They have a very strong library there.
Why?
Full of many secret books.
Why is... Make a persuasion check.
Can I help since I was saying stuff too?
Sure.
Okay.
Roll with advantage, Zane.
Okay. I'll roll one more time. There we go. Nat 20.
Hey, baby.
So, here's the problem. He also rolled a natural 20.
Oh,
well, so I'm re-rolling again.
And his total is 26 as well. So, re-roll again.
23.
25. I rolled a 19.
Motherfucker.
I don't understand what your reservations are about sending me to this library. You've told me where it is, and I do apologize for using such underhanded tactics of trying to get the answer out. Oh, and then he stops. He looks out at himself. Oh, I see. You're worried that I might hurt someone.
Quite possibly.
Well, I may be a devil, but I'm a scholar
Nothing
first.
against you, but
no, I get it. Us devil spawn to us to you mortals are could be tricky. What if I looked like this? And he'll cast disguise self on himself and make him look like you, Zane.
I can't guarantee they would let you into the country.
Okay, well then let me fix my... make his skin red instead of black.
No, that's not quite what I mean.
Well, if it's from where your people are, if I look like... I already kind of look like your people.
I cannot give you entry to the country is what I'm trying to say. You'd have to go around and figure out earning it.
And he'll snap his fingers and you'll see him disappear and show up 20 feet away from you. I have my ways.
I mean, you sure could try.
Can you just tell me where this Ebrax is. I give you. I'm even willing to make a deal with you. And you know us devils.
I don't want to make a deal.
We take our deal seriously.
I don't think you
My
actually
name's
do.
not Donald.
My name's not Donald. Donald, that's a weird name. My name's
Yes.
Vorka, as this guy Zane said.
It's not a weird name, believe me.
Beep says this.
Dead silent all session, and he cuts
Actually,
in with that.
you know what? You know what? Yes, the beep does say it, and then he immediately uses gift of gab.
You just somebody needs to counterspell this.
The devil Vorka will look at you and just smile and wink. Doesn't seem like the gift of gab affected him.
Oh no. Someone knows.
We have to kill him. We have to...
Beep just slowly pulls out. Beep slowly pulls out his
A
sickle. He has a sickle.
He'll raise an eyebrow at you,
What are you
and
doing?
in your head you'll hear, "I could kill you before you think stab." I don't intend to tell them.
Can he hear Beep's thoughts at all?
Yes,
They're just beeps.
he'll just smile and look at you.
He's just gonna hear only beep.
He will cut off that connection real quick.
Can't handle the beep.
You're going into like his
Morse
mind, and
code.
all you hear is a cacophony of beeps.
Do Morse code and tell him he's having a seizure.
Pop, 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 beep, beep.
You'll then
beep,
you'll
pop,
then
pop, pop.
see Vorka kind of turn away and hear a ring. Like it's almost like he's talking like almost with an earpiece in his head, and then you hear him say out loud, "I don't have time for a library, but my lady." Very well, I'll continue researching this area. You want me to bring them with me, but they're... No. My lady, Well, I hate to tell you, my lady is asking me to bring you with me. Any
Where?
interest...
No.
Any interest in meeting the goddess of misfortune?
You have good booze?
Very good
Could
booze.
could she
Elga
bring me
is
an
going
audience?
to smack Thaddeus really hard on like his lower back. Like, stop it.
I feel like we've built a rapport here. That's why I'm asking and not forcing you to come with.
Could she grant me an audience with Matilda?
Well, seeing as she has no control over the terrors anymore, that might be difficult.
Well, she could just ask, like a normal person.
Sorry for interrupting. Could she take care of someone for me that's been in trouble to my life?
If you make a deal with her,
Oh! I say let's go!
nothing comes for free in the Hells. I must warn you.
Thaddeus, don't.
Some things are worth a cost.
She's not gonna like keep us there forever as slaves or anything.
I can ask her, certainly.
Would she kill Torben for me? I'm just gonna be like blunt right at it.
That would save us actually a lot of trouble.
Yes,
I feel like we could also maybe ask her to help us with the blue dragon.
yes, you're...
One step at a time, maybe.
You're
Beep's gonna point at his eye patch.
okay.
And there's that
Give me
wormy
magic.
beast thing that if I'm in the right camp.
Yes, they're worried about what you're gonna do to them. Understandably so. You are deemed the goddess of misfortune. Yes, ma'am.
It's been my whole life. Maybe this is my mother.
Oh, you're interested in the devil? Oh, well, ma'am, he was born of this realm. Yeah. Oh, you're aware. Why wasn't I aware of this? I almost...
Tell her I'm royalty.
he will cast silence on you, Thaddeus. Make a I believe it's a wisdom saving throw. Hold on, let me check. I've cast this on you so many goddamn times I have to check. It's a the B A. No, there is no save. It just happens. Actually, it's a roll to hit.
16 is my armor class.
There is no damage, but it's a natural 20, so it just shuts you up instantly.
While he is distracted talking to his mistress, whatever, I'm gonna sneak over to Zane and cast Enhanceability on his wisdom.
Okay. Good call.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. She just wants an audience with you. She said it would only take a few moments of your time.
Oh wait, she can't hear me.
She couldn't come here?
She can't. Given the intense lock that was put on the Hells, and pretty much on the very being of all of the adversaries on their plane, she can no longer step foot in the material plane. She has no ability to. Hold on, she's asking me something again. Oh. Doesn't have to happen today? Interesting. Wonder if I might be interested in hearing about that. She says that she has a job for you. She desperately wants you to, and I quote, obliterate the scourge that is her daughter, Matilda the Terror, from this mortal plane.
Nope. I'm not doing that. It's my wife, future wife.
Right. Anywho, that's what she wants. She'd like to speak
Oh, damn.
She'd like to speak the specifics with you. She says she's willing to pay, and I quote, a mortal's fortune for it to happen.
Can she, Why does she want her eliminated?
She didn't say. I can ask. My lady.
It's getting really tiring. Like, it's like
My lady. Are you there? My lady. She cut off our connection. She might be angry at me. Oh boy. Well, that's for me to decide. I would say, can I, yes, you, since you're more, resistant to my type of magic, and he'll point at you, Zane. Can I brand you?
No.
It won't hurt. And I promise you won't do anything bad. It just gives me the ability to know where you are.
I think we could do without the branding and seek you out.
Fine, we'll do this the old-fashioned way. And he will reach into what looks to be a pouch on his side, and he'll pull out what looks to be a little coin, very similar to the medallion that he has around his neck. Just say my name 3 times while holding this coin and closing your eyes, and I will hear you. Such a barbaric way of getting in touch with devils. And,
What if I say the name of whoever's symbol this is? Would they respond?
Ball very well may respond. Whether or not you live to speak with him is different.
Is he a jerk, or is he a nice guy? Is he a nice devil?
He's literally named the god of murder and torture.
That's not too bad. Honestly, I've met meaner people.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of torture myself, you know.
He'll flick the coin down to
Fix
you,
himself.
Zane.
I will take it.
You can only use this once a day. I will be on the mortal plane for a while, it appears. If you happen to run into any more demons, do call me. I'd love to collect them, and for study purposes. And if you do manage to kill them, I'll throw you whatever else I find while delving through this old city.
Gladly.
Ah, as he looks up at the obelisk. Illar is the name of this place. Interesting. I don't recognize that tongue or that script, but I can read it for some reason. Huh. Anywho,
The language is called Undercommon.
Undercommon. Maybe there's some connection between that and Infernal. Something else to study, I suppose. Anywho, well, lovely chatting. I apologize again, Zane. That was really forward of me, and sorry. And have a good day. And he will flash out of existence in front of you.
What a nice
I'm
guy.
That guy's a handful.
I think you'd meet him today.
We,
What'd you say?
Yet?
you should not make deals with devils.
Check.
Yes.
Hello.
We can hear you.
Okay. Am I still silenced?
Oh, no, the silence drops the second he disappears.
Oh,
Supposed to say he's silenced forever. Just kidding.
It's just
You'll never
it's
be
just
able to
concentration up to 10 minutes, so it's not. And it's technically a sphere, so anybody in a 20-foot radius would have been silenced. But he would have
Puts a fishbowl over his head.
essentially. That's essentially what silence is. A fishbowl.
it's funny because as soon as you did that, I lost my Discord.
The powers of the hells is coming in. Vorka be with you.
It's the Russians.
Anyways, Zane, that overarching feeling of dread and devilish energy kind of fades away as you get that Vorka probably disappeared somewhere deep into the cave somewhere. Do you...
I'm leaving enhance ability on Zane for the full hour.
Okay. Is that concentration?
It is.
Okay. So just keep a note of that. And please, one of you write down his name, since you have a coin that revolves around his name. You spell his name Vorkaa. Anywho, you guys make your way through the rest of the city, seeing the occasional fiend pop out at the smell of... you now realize, Weavra, every single eyeball that pops up has its eyes on Zane. And is very, very wary of him.
Oh, like they're fearful of him?
You get that most of these eyeballs that pop out are pretty young, are either young fiends or they're smaller, weaker fiends. More imp-like creatures. And they're staring intently at Zane, but not doing it. Those stares could either be perceived as fear or just overall cautiousness.
Okay.
Some bloodlust, but you ride past a little bit too quick to really be concerned about it.
Until further notice, I am going to stay as close to Zane as possible.
Okay.
Um, whether or not the enhanceability is up, I'm assuming it gets dropped at some point soon.
Yep.
Yeah, so I am going to be keeping an eye out for anything that might be more of a threat to him. And then as of tomorrow, I'm going to have Protection from Evil and Good prepared. So I'll be casting that instead, even though it's only 10 minutes as opposed to an hour.
Is that a cantrip or first level?
First level.
Okay. Yeah, Sade, you were three dice roll numbers away from getting slinked into the hells. Yeah, a 3 on your wisdom save, kinda, or intelligence save, or whatever it was, sucked.
Yeah, it was fucking great, you know.
Wisdom, yeah. But you continue on during the day. It's you eventually make your way up a slight incline and make your way out of the subterranean area. You are now an open air desert, dunes all over the place. It's a lot like the beginning of the Rania Trench once you leave Anaric. But you go from being kind of sequestered into this tiny little section pathway, and now all of a sudden you look out and there's room to run. And it's about, you gauge it's probably about 2 to 3 in the afternoon by now. And you continue riding. For the rest of the trip, I would like, since you're kind of moving in a northern direction regardless, a survival check for directions will not be necessary. But I do want a perception check from, let's go with Beep, Zane, and Elka.
You said what again? Sorry.
Perception. Can't rely on Weaver's insane eyes and
Oh, but this is desert. This is my home turf.
It's also why I'm not having you roll for survival.
Fair.
Okay. Zane, you're a little bit shook. A little bit shook up from actually meeting what you gauge being a more of a powerful devil. So your mind isn't quite on looking around. Elka and Beat, both of you rolled over a 15, and that was the DC. You look around, and it's there's not a whole lot of living things in this area. You do see the occasional abandoned, what looks to be a wagon, that has been swept up by the dunes. You do see the occasional skeleton of what looks to be a giant snake-like creature, popping up out of the dunes, eroded over time. The other thing you notice is that you do occasionally see a humanoid skull poking up out of the sand.
Can we detect any sort of movement, maybe under the sand or something? I'm thinking a la Dune sandworm.
No.
Can you feel any vibrations at all?
No. With a
Okay.
16 and a 19, you don't necessarily see, hear, or feel anything alive other than you yourself and your friends, as well as your dude bounders.
Could I possibly know anything about the skeleton? Is it like a dead creature, extinct?
Make a nature check.
13.
13. You can't tell if it's a skeleton of something that is extinct, but what you can tell is that it's probably thinking with a 13. You probably guess that it's some sort of desert-based serpent. You don't, with that nature check, you don't necessarily have the knowledge of the area to know what that creature is.
Okay.
So, it does look quite large. It looks like a large snake-like serpent. That is about it. But you continue on for the rest of the day, making your way through the dunes, and eventually it does get dark, and you find yourself along a semi-cliff ledge that is again also multi-tiered. Open air. It looks like on a few of the ledges, camps have been made in the past, where travelers through the trench have tried to find some sort of windbreak and solace from the weather within the trench. But you do, I'm going to say, make a... No, survival check isn't necessary. You do find a good, nice little camping spot. I forgot I put the camp there. So you do find a camping spot up along the ridge, top of the plateau, where you can look out and see anything coming or hear anything coming, hopefully. But all of you do rest down for a longer rest. Unless any of you want to do anything before you go to sleep.
Oh, good. More desert.
Is there anyone that wouldn't have space under the tents at all?
Nope. There's enough room for everybody in the tents.
Okay.
Yeah. Although you do notice Alan kind of sitting out on the ledge looking up at the stars.
Can I? That's gonna sound very silly. Can I go have Beep just go sit next to him?
Oh, Alco is also gonna go sit next to him.
Okay. Oh, beep. There's two beeps.
Oh.
Would anybody like a drink?
Nope, I'm good. I'm just watching the stars. Oh, hello, friends.
Should we all just crowd
Beep.
around Alan? Get
Hello.
your picture.
Alan will start pointing out constellations to both of you.
Yay.
Yeah, that one right there. That's the that's constellation named after Shanti. She's the goddess that I'm most closely related to. I don't really follow her, but I do appreciate her blessings whenever they do come along. That one right there. That's the one of Ammriel. She's the mother of tundras, and you see like a star shape that kind of looks like a snowflake, and like a 6 diagram snowflake with like little dots. She's that one's named after her. She's known as the goddess of winter and knowledge. Let's.
Would Beep be able to know any of the constellations himself?
Oh yeah, Beep, you are well versed in the cosmos. So, yeah, you would know exactly what he's pointing out, and you'd know it before you sang it. And then he'll also point out what looks to be like a constellation, looks like a hammer. That one's named after Gond, the Iron Father. Yeah, there's quite a few others, but none of them aren't really showing tonight. Those are the only ones I can think of.
They're very pretty. My
Yeah.
uncle always looked at them.
Yeah, well, I assume you're talking about the one I met prior. Elkis? That was his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed like a good fella.
He's pretty okay.
Yeah, that husband of his seemed like a handful, but
Well, I mean, he taught me everything that I know, so.
yeah, well. Yeah, didn't say he wasn't a good teacher, but he definitely is a handful by the looks of it. Don't really know him too well, but the few
I guess
times
that's true.
the one or two times that I did converse with him, he seemed like a little bit well, no offense, a little bit off his rocker a bit.
They've both been through a lot.
As we all have.
Beep boop.
Did you make another noise other than beep?
Beep boop bop. And then he'll pull out common for dummy.
He's been learning.
Oh, hey, congratulations, buddy. That's a.
He's up to 3 words.
I see that.
It's like we have a child that we're listening to talk for the first time.
Then I'm gonna have him point to one constellation that's kind of behind them out of view.
Okay.
And he's gonna say Mithrade.
What did she just say?
Look,
Mithrade.
That's a big word for someone who only knows how to say beep, boop, and bop. Thrade.
Goddess.
what was she
Eve?
saying?
He just said goddess.
Just did a religion check for Alan. He rolled a 19 plus
Yellow.
a little bitty. Religion for him is a +3, so 22. Mithrade. She's one of them lesser gods, if I think about it. And you just said 2 other words. Beep.
Beep beep boop.
No, sir. My bullshit meter's high right now. Could you speak this whole time?
Beep boop boop bop.
Beep, boop, boop, bop.
And he'll look at you. Did we just imagine him saying those 2 words?
I
Beep is
don't-
gaslighting them.
I don't think so.
I know I've been drinking a lot in the last couple of days,
Those
but
are-
I swear to God, I've heard something from him.
A really, really low insight roll for him, but it's still a 20.
Beep's just gonna let it happen. He thinks it's a fun rumor. It'll be a fun rumor.
Well, that. Okay. I suppose he can say 5 words then.
Beep boop boop. Bop bop.
Okay.
So
I
those
don't know.
say those other 2 again, Beep. Say
Goddess. Mithrade. Beep boop boop bop.
Okay, I guess he does know how to say other words other than beep, boop, and bop. All right, well we've heard it more than once.
Elka? Am I really drunk right now?
Yes. Yes, Thaddeus. You should go to bed.
Well, he just spoke.
I'd like to.
Beep's just
No,
gonna turn to
I
him and
think-
go and just give a thumbs up and say beep boop boop bop beep.
I think you're hearing things, friend. He hasn't said anything new.
Okay.
I didn't hear
I'm
anything.
seeing visions.
I didn't hear anything else, to be honest with you.
You
To
should-
my
You should go lay down.
You should go lay down. You want me to give you a little bit of a lesser restoration spell to help you with a headache?
No, because I want to just drink some more. You save that till tomorrow morning.
I'm about to go to sleep.
I
Whatever.
had a vision. I had a vision of Noetic and Tobin, and I'm sorry. I'm going to bed.
Good night, then. Those tents are much larger than they are on the screen, by the way.
I would hope so.
That was the reason I asked my question.
I did not realize how small they were until I just looked at them. It was not intentional.
Ori takes up 1/10
Yes.
by himself.
Technically, Ori is this size, so
He takes up an entire tent.
Yeah.
Ori would be
definitely.
too big for a tent.
The tent's his blanket.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
I think we established in session 2 that his feet just poke out or something.
yeah. Your feet, your hooves just kind of poke out.
Yeah. I don't know why I said feet. Like he has human feet. Takes his hooves off.
Oh my
So-
god, Ori,
hate it.
These
Ori
pictures
would.
on OnlyFans.
Hey,
Wig stretches his toes out.
hey, Mousy, can you do me a favor and get to drawing that? Thanks.
No.
Please don't.
Could you please draw Ori?
Absolutely not.
No,
Could you
no,
please
no,
draw
no,
Ori
no,
with?
no.
I'll commission it. I'll pay for it. I swear. It'd be so funny.
I may start drinking more in real life.
I will join you.
Same.
If I have to draw that,
Beep, boop, boop, bop.
How much would a commission cost for that?
you know what? For that, I would say $1,000. I will draw Ori taking off his hooves and stretching his fucking toes.
Ah!
All right, where should I send that to? Just kidding. I don't.
My PayPal is mousy.karina@gmail.com.
There you go.
All right, get started.
Do it.
Jesus Christ, Biddy.
You gotta ask for a payment plan, like $100 a month.
I get a payment
No,
plan.
there's no plan. There's no payment plan. I need money for rent, on my mortgage. I don't rent. I'm an adult.
So am I. I still live with my parents. Yay.
You are a child, Zachary.
I pay my taxes.
I paid taxes at 16. Didn't mean I'm an adult.
Yeah. I'm 25. Thanks. Anywho, so
No,
you
but-
guys go to you guys sit there, stare at the stars for a bit, and eventually you guys do go to rest. Alan will be taking the first watch. If anybody wants to join him, one of you could hop up and join him.
Elka will probably take the morning, like the into the morning.
I'll take second watch.
I'll probably take second as well.
Well, Alan's perception's pretty high. Actually, perception's fucking massive. Jesus.
I was gonna say it's probably better than mine.
His passive's 22, but
Oh, I mean passive, I got him beat, but
yeah, no, he has plus 12 to his perception. Yeah, okay, he'll do it by himself. And he sees nothing for the first watch. As he rolls a natural 1,
We're gonna die.
but it's still a 13, so he is still kind of perceptive.
We're still gonna die.
I don't want to fight another fucking titan of a monster.
I'm sorry, can I take your temperature? You don't want to fight another titan of a monster? You?
The
Okay.
Titan of a monster.
The only reason we defeated its tail was because we had a ship with cans on it.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I thought you were talking about the devil or the demon you guys just...
No. I'm talking about the actual titan, the big turtle.
So Alan wanders off to bed and kind of slaps whoever awake.
Stop,
Ori and me.
He just walks up and kind of does like a Godfather slap on the side of the face to both of you. Hey, I didn't see anything, but it's late. It's your turn.
Thank you.
Thumbs up.
And he'll go to sleep. So both of you roll. Either one of you can roll a perception check with advantage, or both of you can roll a perception check.
You can have advantage.
Of course.
Alrighty.
28.
Hey, fucking easy numbers. Light work.
I like how I rolled a 4.
I know. You're not allowed to have characters anymore.
Hey, I I built him to do one thing really well, and that is keep watch.
You do see at this point with your dark vision. How far is that roughly? Assuming, are you which way? So wait, are you looking out on over the plateau or over the desert? What did you say?
I'm probably watching. Are we towards the top of the plateau?
Yeah, you're towards the top of the plateau. You're about 80 feet up. But,
Okay, so nothing. I am in that case paying more attention up the plateau, like
okay. Interesting.
and occasionally looking down at the desert.
Okay.
Assuming I'm understanding the
Yeah.
topography correctly.
The plateau goes up and then is a flat surface straight to the wall of the trench. And it's about 1,000 feet away from you, the wall of the trench. Downwards, you're like kind of off to the side of the trench. The trench is roughly 40 miles across from one side to the other. On a good day, you can see all the way across. Just because it is a flat desert. But all of the way you've been traveling northward, you're kind of like traveling straight north at an angle or straight north, and then the trench is like angling inwards towards you. So at this point in your journey, you have started to make it to where you're meeting up with that angle, and so you're only about a mile away from the which would be a little more than 1,000 feet, but you're about a mile away from the wall of the trench. So this is where it's where the plateau goes up, and then downwards is just a sea of sand. Top of the plateau, you do notice birds of prey. Nocturnal birds of prey starting to hunt for desert voles, for all matter of small rodent creatures that you've discovered have been in and about your camp occasionally. Little mole-like vole creatures that are burrowers. But then you look out towards the desert, and you see what looks to be shifting underneath the sand, not coming towards you, but it's very large. With your 28, you can tell that this is probably about, the movement is serpent-like in its movement. And it's just barely breaching up underneath the sand and going back down. But it's not aggressive. It doesn't seem like it's noticed you. It's just kind of doing its own thing. But you do notice the large creature moving underneath the sand. And with your 28, you can gauge that this creature's probably about 80 feet long to 100 feet long.
I'm going to go out of my way to not mention that thing to Ori, especially if it's not coming at us, because I don't want him to go off and, or I should say, I don't want to have to use any of my ways to keep Ori from killing people methods to keep him from running off and attacking an 80-foot worm.
Right, understood. Okay.
So as long as it's not like coming directly at us or anything like that, I'm just gonna kind of let it be.
Okay. All right. Well, it moves along enough. You do notice it from time to time moving backwards towards the other way, going south instead of north. But it seems like it's underneath the surface hunting. And with your 28, you can't help but look out and notice the rest of the sand were away from the main, I say road loosely, but the most traveled part of the trench. Mm-hmm. Any part of the desert that's not in that area seems to be moving in a similar fashion. It seems like there's multiple of these creatures.
And they seem to be all moving the same direction.
Same direction, and they don't seem to be moving east to west. They're either moving north or south.
Oh, but it's not like a migration type of thing.
Correct.
Okay.
You get the sense that they're either hunting or this is just them waking up.
Got it.
So, but second watch goes off without much issue, and you do go to sleep eventually, waking up Elka as you wander your way back into the tents.
I will, away from Ori, quietly tell Elka about the sandworms and that they didn't seem to be aggressive, but they're there.
Okay.
Can I make a perception check?
Yeah. I'm gonna say make a sleight of hand or a stealth check, your choice, Vivra, and you can make a perception check, Ori, to see if he notices this conversation happening.
Solid 3.
Yeah, no, you go straight to bed.
Man, what a boring night.
I will keep an eye on the worms then.
Okay. Knowing that is out there, you can go ahead and roll a perception check just to see if you spot anything else that could be an issue.
24.
24. You continue to see the movement until about daybreak. And then it slows down.
Okay.
And then the sands settle. And the wind, one thing you notice is that the wind is constant. There is no escaping the wind here in this trench. Sometimes it's just a light breeze, and sometimes it is assaulting you with sand and rocks. But all of you do have a long rest, and you wake up in the morning feeling refreshed. Weaver, I'm going to have you do this every single morning, so just get used to it. Roll a survival check with advantage. Because you're at the point in your cooking and your abilities that you may be able to provide 10 hit points to your party during this. So the 4 is erased and the 4 is gained from this morning.
I will also let Weaver know that I noticed all of the movement stopped at daybreak, so they're most likely nocturnal creatures.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, breakfast is had. An assortment of meats, wild cacti veggies, and what other forms of rations all of you picked up on your way out of Anaric are cooked. A vegetarian breakfast is provided for Elka as always. And at this point, Weaver's gotten really good with Zane's help at making all of you food that you appreciate and enjoy. And all of you pack up. I forgot to roll for your Doonbounders.
Really still alive.
You got to peek down over the small little ledge where you left your Doonbounders, and all of them are there.
I'm gonna go give Chester a good hug.
Roll an animal handling check.
Also, Ori, can I borrow your brush?
Might have some blood on it, but yeah.
12 for animal handling.
It hesitantly accepts the brushing.
Okay.
Chester is starting to warm up to you, but not exactly that happy about it. But there is some blood and dirt and grime in that brush when you start to look at it closer.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. But you carry on for the rest of the day, keeping an eye out for anything that could assail you during the day. And with Vlivra's passive perception for this session, you are constantly looking out to where you saw the movement in the sand, but nothing moves. And eventually, on your third full day of travel, realizing that you are maybe getting close to the halfway point of where you might start seeing some civilization within the trench, you come upon... Well, actually, I remember I have a mechanic for this. I'd like all of you to roll... This will probably be the last roll of the night. Maybe the second to last. I'd like all of you to roll a... We'll go with... Constitution saving throw.
Does this having to do
Nat
with
20.
Yeah, I got nat 22.
Does this have to do with what?
like water or
No.
Okay,
Okay.
I was gonna say, if it is, I've got 4 alchemy.
I was just saying
Also-
you have plenty. You have plenty to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
What are we rolling for?
Con save.
On to-
Out of curiosity, are there like distant sandstorms at all that we can see?
The occasional wind whips up like a sand tornado, and then eventually settles. But none that have really hit all of you yet. You've only been in the open sand for the equivalent of a day and a half, so you've.
Out of curiosity, do we have any like goggles at all?
I don't think any of you thought to buy any before you left. The only person who does is Elka with the dark vision goggles.
I have a pair of those as well.
Yeah.
And I also
Well-
would have shown.
Also, yeah,
I'm saying
we
start
were
making more.
last time we were showed us how to like wrap up our
Yeah.
heads,
Yeah,
our faces.
So it's not perfect necessarily, but it
keeps the majority of the sand out of the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
And Beep's got that eye patch, so
right.
Helpful.
So
I've got alcohol protecting me.
let's see here.
God's on my side.
Let it be. Okay. Zane and Thaddeus. Thaddeus, you're hungover. Had a good breakfast, feeling a little bit rejuvenated, but the constant beating wind and sand in your face does feel a bit rough on the hangover. And you don't necessarily... you can't necessarily determine, both you and Zane. Zane, for you, it's more of just the heat getting to you. Even though you have Infernal Constitution, the overall arcing heat of the sun just beating down on you constantly makes you start seeing things almost exactly like a mirage. Everybody else, what you see is a hole in the ground about, well, I'd say about half a mile up. Zane and Thaddeus, you see what looks to be a mirage of an oasis.
I got water and trees in front of us. Let's go.
We have wait.
Gollop, come on, baby. Let's go.
I see the pretty oasis.
Let's go, Zane. It's got water. It's got.
Conveniently, Zane and Thaddeus are on the same Dunebounder.
Well,
Oh,
that's not helpful.
Which I do have that written down. Zane is right, or Thaddeus is writing with Zane.
okay. Can I have?
I'm gonna
can
get
I have-
Chester going to try and see if we can, because I think Weavra is with me, so like maybe Weavra can hop over and.
Can I also have Beep use Find Familiar real quick and then try to convince them?
Yeah, you can't. You could if they weren't
Yeah.
already dashing off way ahead of in front of you.
Fair enough.
As they rip ahead, um,
Oh, I don't want to burn this. Fuck. If it
you see them
If it-
get about. Go ahead.
if we cannot catch them and it looks like they are about to be in mortal danger, I'm going to cast a spell on whoever's driving the
It would be Zane.
Zane.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be ready to cast the spell on Zane if we cannot catch them otherwise.
So, this is what all of you see.
So there is an oasis.
Yes, just not how they're seeing it. All they see is an
Where
oasis
are we
on top
coming
of the
from?
the south. So,
So
which is this
So,
not?
so they can't tell that it's got. They're about to go over a cliff, basically.
Yes. And as you guys are trying to keep up, you're a couple. I'd say you're probably 30 feet behind, and you watch them run up. Zane, since you're driving, make an intelligence saving throw.
If he is going clearly about to jump off, like pilot the thing or have the dune bounder jump off,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need him to make a wisdom saving throw as well.
Okay. Before that happens, with an 11, Zane, you continue whipping, not whipping, but lashing the reins at your dune bounder, and the dune bounder's not a dumb animal. It skids its tires essentially,
Okay.
and starts. With your intelligence saving throw, Zane, you question why the dune bounder's stopping, but you don't exactly realize why until you're being launched off, head over ass, off your dune bounder along with Thaddeus. What are you casting?
Never mind. That is not going to help anymore if they're getting off the thing.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about the dune bounders first.
Gotcha. Okay.
How am I getting launched?
Both of you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Normal,
Rest in
advantage.
peace, Zane. Let's hope that's not like a 30-foot drop.
Also, right.
Pool's calling.
Yeesh.
That's not a
Right.
save, Todd.
Huh?
You need you to save.
Oh, it needs to be
Yeah,
saved.
save.
Oh yeah. So
Well,
There we
yeah. If technically we take the roll,
yeah. 13.
You just add your proficiency bonus, so it'd be a 13, which still fails. Since you accidentally rolled dex, that's what we've done in the past. Okay, good to know.
Well, where are me and Thaddeus ending up down there?
You both watch Thaddeus and Zane get flung off this dune bounder and go flying downwards into this pit. Yep.
How far forward are we getting flung, Zach?
About 10 feet ish. So
Okay,
just off the ledge, but just enough to where you're free falling. Well, that's awkward.
How far is that drop?
You're about to find out.
Oh,
7, 10.
Oh. Oh no, never mind. There are two of them.
I'll cast Featherfall again on Zane.
Does it
It's once a day.
is it once a day?
Sorry, Thaddeus.
What's the reach on that? Featherfall, I think it's only 30 feet.
I don't fucking know.
Oh, they were
Well,
behind by 30 feet.
We were trying
Right,
to-
but
So, like-
they got flung off. It's 60 feet.
All right,
Um,
fine.
And you would have been about. When you watch him get flung off, it is a reaction, and it does. You have the ability to cast Featherfall, and it'd be up to 5 people, so you could get them both. So you do hit them both, which saves them from 58 points of falling damage
Oh.
as they fall down a 180-foot cliff.
Oh.
108.
What about the boy?
Damn.
So, Zane, when you snap to and realize what's happening, you feel yourself slow down at about the 30-foot range as you see Elka on top of her dune bounder with her sword out, just desperately reaching out to save your ass. Or I guess it would have been...
I'll be about here.
Yeah.
Probably.
So the cast could have happened. But either way, you start to slow your momentum at about 30, 40 feet in the air. And you gently float down to the bottom of what you now realize is an oasis. In a Templo oasis. And as you hit the ground, I'd like everyone except for Zane and Thaddeus to make a stealth check. I am to roll for the Dune Bounders as well. Okay, that's success. Okay, that's also a success. That's a failure. That's also a failure. That's also a failure. Alan, success. And Arya, fail. So that's 4 fails. Okay. Oh no. Stealth. 13, fail. 11, fail. 26, success. First success. 4 fails. 3 plus 6. As all of you aren't being subtle really at all about watching your friends get flung off this this cliff. Weaver, you would notice it first because of your crazy high passive perception. You start to feel tremble underneath underneath the ground about 5 to 10 feet behind you. I believe this is it? Yeah, this is it. As you see probably your worst nightmare in the form of a worm pops up, which I'm trying to pull up the... because all of you failed miserably on your... that!
Oh. Okay.
Pops up out of the ground.
I
And
guess they're not fully nocturnal.
its jaw opens up and lets out just this god-awful shriek that I'm not going to make because my parents are already in bed.
Sounds like a them problem.
As a damn
Come on,
problem.
do it, Zach. Do it.
And then you watch another one shoot up out of the ground right next to you. No.
That's pretty
That
good.
is pretty good. And you know the screech from the Nazgul beasts in Lord of the Rings?
Oh god.
The high pitch, that's what it sounds like as these things pop up out of the ground. And as all of you realize you're being surrounded by these giant desert worms, except for Zane and Thaddeus, being 180 feet down, we'll end tonight's session there, and we'll pick this up next week.
Oh boy.
It's an Alaskan boar.
We need some kazoo music to send us out.
Kazoo music to send us out.
Wait,
Wait, what was that one?
Y'all are about to be a bunch of spooky, scary skeletons.
Not me.
No, you just got saved from taking a lot of fucking falling damage, which would
You're
have
welcome.
which would have sucked if you had started off 58 points down when this combat started.
Well,
Me and Thaddeus are currently unaware.
Very unaware.
theoretically, they're sandworms. They probably wouldn't like it if you got in the water.
You can certainly try with that theory. Next
Are there
session.
piranhas in the water?
Good question. All
There's
right.
a water worm.
Roll for piranha.
Well,
Oh, don't start.
that I'll be right back.
I can kill myself.
Yeah.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you for hanging out and watching. I want to throw a reminder while everyone's still here tonight that we will be doing a full Magic. Myself, our buddy King, and now Mousy will all be doing a full-blown Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough here on the channel, as well as I assume on all of their channels. Their links will be in the chat whenever we do play, starting next week, Monday, and we'll be playing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we'll see what sort of shenanigans we could get into that. But you'll be seeing my perspective on this channel, and then I'll also be posting them on YouTube. Hopefully I can get... My goal is to have all three of them posted every single week, but we all know how I get sometimes with YouTube posting. So we'll do our best, but there'll be a full playthrough, so if you guys want to watch our kind of just a different way to get content on this channel, as well as enjoy the game that is Baldur's Gate 3, because I fucking love that game. I have I think a total of 14 hours, 15 hours in the game already, so I've been enjoying it. It's a really fun game, and for those of you that don't know what that game is, it's basically a video game version of Dungeons and Dragons. So should be fun. But I'll keep you guys updated. Don't think you played since the first. Gotcha. Yeah, I've the full version came out, and I think it would have been 3 days ago, and I've been playing the shit out of it. So I've been enjoying it. Oh, you mean the OG? Gotcha. Yeah. So it's no longer in Baldur's Gate 3 is no longer in beta. It is now fully released, and they'll probably be doing some DLC, like free DLC content along the line. So since they don't charge extra, they don't do other extra charges for their stuff, which is awesome. So, and that's held true for a long time now for their company and their gaming studio. So anyways, I'll look forward to that. That'll be next Monday. So we'll have our session on Sunday, and then live Monday night we will have Baldur's Gate 3, and we will be playing that into perpetuity until we beat the game together. So hopefully that goes well. So anywho, thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. And hopefully everything will go well with this Baldur's Gate 3 thing. So anywho, have a wonderful night, guys. Peace out. Oregon, thanks, buddy.